And this is Ken Kraetzer at the United States Military Academy. We're at the cyber defense exercise talking with one of the seniors who has set up this whole event, and that is Jacob Kravitz. And Jacob, tell us a little bit about the event, some of the skills that are being tested here. I know you have some academies in other parts of the country and even overseas participating.
Yes, sir. So this is the 2015 cyber defense exercise put on by the NSA. And it basically pits all of the United States service academies against one another, as well as the Royal Military College of Canada. They're also in addition to the competition this year. And basically, the challenge is to create a network and defend it from attacks from the NSA. And they're scoring us on a number of different metrics. They're scoring us based on availability. So essentially, we're setting up a lot of essential services such as web, FTP, very general broad services that would be set up on basically any enterprise network. And the challenge is to make those services as available as we can to all the users, but at the same time, we have to defend it from outside attacks as well as some insider attacks, which they are also set up by the NSA with our internal gray cell. So I was responsible for setting up the actual network infrastructure, wiring all these computers together. We have 18 different workstations. Each one is essentially responsible for completing a different task. As you see behind me, there are a number of different cadets working on different services. We have the web team, the FTP team. We also have a network monitoring team. So they're actually monitoring the traffic that goes back and forth on the network to try and detect things before they come into our network. And we also have the firewall team, which is responsible for the first line of defense against any outsider attacks as well.
And this is certainly fascinating. We all understand the importance of protecting information. You know, we know it from business, but we know from what you're doing in the military. Why is protecting information now so important to the military and to the Army?
Well, this is actually kind of a much broader issue than just in the military. And this is the United States, position on cybersecurity. We're behind the power curve, to put it very lightly. So the United States, obviously, we're undergoing many cyber attacks every day. I'm sure you've heard of very prominent attacks such as the Sony Pictures attack. Banks are under attack every single day. So this is a much bigger problem than just in the military. But obviously, adversaries they're trying to get into our information systems to steal very sensitive data. And we're doing our best to try and learn how we can defend that. And this is one of those ways that we can learn the practical application of defending our networks.
And I understand that you're going to be going into the new cyber branch of the Army. You have the pin from that branch on your uniform. Tell us a little bit about the new cyber branch of the United States Army.
So the new U.S. Army cyber branch was created in August of this past year. It was actually just signed in. And we have 15 of us from the United States Military Academy will be going directly into the cyber branch. I believe 13 of them are on the competitive team. 2 are in the other room on the non-competitive team. There are also 15 from Reserve Officer Training Corps, ROTC, entering the new branch. They also had a lateral transfer of hundreds of officers into the branch as well, so they're in the midst of setting up this brand new branch, which will be responsible solely for obviously protecting our network infrastructure and repelling attacks and also responding to them as well.
And just curious, obviously, we see a lot of work on managing drones, for example, done by the Air Force and protecting information. We know a lot of it is central. Is there also a role of going out protecting information, helping an Army unit that might be in the field?
No, absolutely, and that's one of the missions of the new cyber branch is that we're going to be tasked with protecting those network systems to allow the warfighter to continue to complete their mission securely and to not have any sort of information loss or potentially having any information tampered with, because that is when very serious things can happen out in the field. So we'll absolutely be engaged with those teams, especially intelligence, that are running, especially with the Air Force, that are running drone operations and very secure operations like that. And we're going to try to maintain their integrity during the course of their operations as well.
And so this is an area of the future. I guess it's the area where the military thriller writers have been doing a lot of thinking on it. But where is the future of this? What are some of the things that you think will be out there, 5 years from now?
I think one of the biggest things about technology as a whole is that it exponentially grows, and there are new things that are developed, new equipment, new technology, new protocols especially, which are essentially how information is transmitted. As these new things get rolled out into industry and into the general public sector, that's when adversaries will find ways into those applications that are obviously not intended. So obviously things are going to continue to change, and like anything else in the technology world, you got to stay on the cutting edge of it in order to maintain the edge over the adversary.
Okay, Jacob Kravitz from the United States Military Academy, a senior, will commission into the U.S. Army next year. Our best wishes, and thank you for all you're going to be doing defending our country from cyber attack.
Absolutely. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
This is Ken Kraetzer for Sons of the American Legion Radio at the United States Military Academy.